Next.
Welcome into Tips for Gamers, and today we're going to be breaking down a video of the Madden 23 X Factor players so far revealed. There's a great article on this from Ben Wilson at Games Radar. We'll have the link in the description below. We're going to be referencing that along with what we already know about Madden, and we're going to be kind of comparing and contrasting the X Factors from last year and the X Factors this year. It looks like the list will continue to update as well, and we will keep you informed on what players are going to be changing or staying the same. The first guy that we have on our list is Stephon Diggs. He's going to have the exact same one as he had last year, which is rack 'em up. Next up on our list, we got Tre'Davious White, who is going to be the exact same as he was last year as well, which is shut down. He would have been so much better if he went to Ohio State. He's still one of the best out there, but if he went to Ohio State, he would have been legendary. Just saying, whatever, let's move along. We have the newest member of the Buffalo Bills as well, Von Miller. The guy is a chicken farmer. I don't know if you knew this. Along with him being a chicken farmer, he's also a fearmonger. Okay, so there's that. This guy could have been a librarian. This guy could have been a WWE fighter in his life. He could have just been a pure chicken farmer. We don't know. This guy is an absolute beast. Von Miller, love watching you play, bud. Next up, we got Josh Allen, who's going to be rapping the Bazooka Superstar X Factor Dev. And, you know, he deserves his own. You should call him like the double tank or something like that. This guy is huge. I don't even know why the Buffalo Bills pay the offensive line. This guy could just block for himself, get rid of the running back. He could do it too. He could throw the ball like 180 yards. Don't quote me on that, but still, he's an absolute monster. The other thing, according to NFLtherapy.com, Jalen Ramsey said back in September of 2020 that Josh Allen was a stupid draft pick. Okay, the only thing that happened there when he said that is now Jalen Ramsey can never be hired as a general manager ever. He ruined his future career at that, so that's all I'm saying. And the last thing I'll say about this, Madden, is you're doing this man dirty. This man's mustache looked like you glued ant legs onto his face, or it looks like he had glue on his upper lip and he got into a pillow fight. Something ridiculous. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. And Josh Allen, you should be appalled, as we all are. This is insane. He had a better mustache when he was 12. And the Denver Broncos did have to trade their way onto this list because apparently they had no other players that could make it onto this list, but we won't fault them for that. So the player that did get him onto this list is Russell Wilson with the Blitz radar. It's the same as he had last year. If I had to change it, I'd probably be the Let's Ride.
Let's ride. Let's ride, baby. Hey.
And make sure to check out our brand new Minecraft resource pack called T4G's Builder Pack. It is the most realistic Minecraft resource pack for Java Edition. We have stucco, great wood, amazing doors that will only get better, and bricks that will shock you. If you or anyone you know plays Minecraft, make sure to share our pack with them or check it out yourself. It can be found in the links in the description below. You can find out how to download it on our Patreon, and you can also see the video in the links in the description below as well. We have Myles Garrett, and his X Factor is going to be unstoppable force, and honestly, they missed a boat here. It should have been like Manhandle or something like that, especially after what he did with Mason Rudolph, where he took off his helmet and beat him with it. Rule number 1 in football should be never let a man beat you with your own helmet. That should be rule number 1. The other close X Factors you could have gone with is maybe like Cracking Heads or Skull Crusher, something like that. My first favorite, my first vote would go to Manhandle, but that's just me. The next guy on the list is Nick Chubb, who's actually going to be changing his X Factor. It was Freight Train, now it's going to be Wrecking Ball for the new Madden. So there's that. You know, Nick Chubb is a great running back. Absolutely love this guy. I can't even make jokes about him. He's old school football, man. Next up, we got TB12, the GOATs, the best football player who's ever played.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Is that a TikTok?
No. Don't worry about it.
Rocking the pro reads like he did in Madden 22. And honestly, we believe that they got this wrong because he could have been Football Jesus for his Superstar X Factor. Could have been Mr. Ugg. Maybe Giselle dressed me for this. Or AKA Molasses. Or Bench NA. I mean, there's so many that you could go with this. It's absolutely insane. This guy is the best of the best. And thank you so much, Tom Brady. All jokes aside, greatest football player ever. Thank you for all the laughs as well. And thank you for the combine photo. Magical stuff. We got Levante David. The Bucks are not done on this list here. He's rocking the run stuffer like he did in Madden 22, but the real crime here is that is completely wrong. It should be Travis Kelce's daddy. And then we got Mike Evans, who is just an absolute monster in so many ways. We all know this. The guy's tatted from heel to toe. Not heel to toe. From head to toe. He's just got tats on his feet, ladies and gentlemen. That's all he has. But he has the double me like he had last year. But this should have a little bit of asterisks on it, the double me, unless you're Marshawn Lattimore. That's all I'm saying. Next up, we got D-Hop in the house. Well, he's not really in the house, but you want to show up to our house, we'll welcome you with open arms, give you a cheeseburger, bring your girl, we'll give her a burglet. We're fancy like that. He's got the double me like he had last year. And honestly, it feels like this guy has like 15 arms or something like that. Because you could tie both of his arms behind his back, he'll still catch it. He'll catch it with his toes. This guy is one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game, as simple as that. So we have Kyler Murray, and he's going to have the escape artist. We kind of thought they were more leaning towards the playoff bust development. However, they're leaning with that. And you know what? This guy is a really good football player. It's exciting to see what his future will hold. This guy could have went pro in like everything besides maybe like badminton or something like that. So the Chargers obviously are making big moves by bringing in Khalil Mack. He has relentless in Madden 22. He's going to have unstoppable force. Let's see what he can do this season. But I think the Chargers are looking pretty scary. Now, Keenan Allen's going to keep the exact same one as he did last year in Madden 22. The only thing I would change is maybe do like Beard Boss, something like that. This guy's got a bossy beard. After he scores on you, he's going to be over on the sidelines picking out food from the night before, having a little snackums. And we have one of the Bosa brothers, Mr. Joey Bosa. The reason he's so big, so strong is because he played at Ohio State. They say he grew 6 to 7 inches once he went to Ohio State. That's just what happens when you go there. But he is going to be rocking the unstoppable force just like he was last year. Nothing's changed with this, and nothing needs to change. The guy's unstoppable. And we got another guy on the Chargers who's not going to change. His is going to be reinforcement like it was last year. Probably should be reinforcement when I'm not injured, but still, the guy's a beast, absolute monster. It's exciting to see what the Chargers are going to be able to do this year because the Chargers have so much talent. Moving on. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes and still going to rock a heavy X Factor ability, which is the same as last year's, you can see on your screen, which is Bazooka. If they had to change it to a different one, maybe they could do like family drama or something like that. We got Travis Kelce, one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. Honestly, the guy's getting to a point where he could actually, in my opinion, go down as the greatest tight end to ever play the game. He is just so good, and he's obviously had a laundry list of great quarterbacks. I wouldn't say great quarterbacks, but I'd say pretty above average quarterbacks throwing to him. The only one you could switch it with is Levante David's my daddy. That's the only one I would switch it to. But aside from that, Travis Kelce, no one can beat him. He's got to be one of the most frustrating tight ends to ever play against because the guy never actually takes a full-on hit from you. He constantly catches the ball. He's always open, so hard to cover, and the only guy to cover him is his daddy, Levante David. Next one, we have momentum shift. Chris Jones is the same one as he had last year. Honestly, it could be big hands. His hands look so big, it's ridiculous. He wears those big white gloves, and I don't know if he's doing it on purpose just to make those things look humongous. Whatever it is, people are just getting struck by lightning out there with those big old meat paws. So we finally got the Indianapolis Colts with a player on the list here, and it's really cool to see. They got Stephon Gilmore. He's a shutdown X Factor like he was last year, but it's just really cool to see the Colts finally beat the Jaguars in something that doesn't matter. If it comes to something that matters, like going to the playoffs, well, that's another thing. And we got another Colt on the list. This list is starting to grow, and it just makes you wonder, where were all these X Factors when they were playing the Jaguars last year to get to the playoffs? I don't know. Anyways, moving on. We got DeForest Buckner, and it looks like he's going to keep his exact same one, which is unstoppable force, aka unless we're playing the Jags. So next on the list, we got Jonathan Taylor. This guy's like 6'9", 500 pounds of pure muscle. He's going to be a freight train superstar X Factor, and he's just amazing. He's so freaking amazing. If you were a fan of the Big Ten or watched any teams in the Big Ten, every fan could have told you about Jonathan Taylor. The Buckeyes fans, they all knew about Jonathan Taylor because this guy was coming with some heat. He had a stiff arm that was meant for people's mouths. I mean, this guy is insane. And when he was coming into the draft, and this is no shot on J.K. Dobbins, but we would not have drafted J.K. Dobbins over Jonathan Taylor, and we told everyone that. We're like, and there's no shot on you, J.K. Dobbins. You don't even need to knock on our front door. You just walk on in, we'll make you a burger, give you all the fixings, give you a beer, watch some football, man. Hang out. We love you. But Jonathan Taylor would draft first over everyone just because it was obvious. And we told our buddy Shades that. We were like, bro, your Chiefs need to draft Jonathan Taylor. They didn't. They drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire over him, which is hilarious, no pun intended. So the only thing I would do differently is probably put ha Chiefs as his X Factor, or LOL Andy Reid, maybe something like that. The next guy on our list is Terry McLaurin, who was drafted in the 3rd round, which is just the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Another Ohio State guy here. He's going to have ankle breaker, and he deserves it. I love this guy. I love this football player. Great tenacity. He plays like he's like 8'9". This guy's a beast. Then we have Dak Prescott, who's going to be rocking the Blitz radar. And I love Dak Prescott's story. I love that he was drafted later. He's an underdog. No one thought he was going to do that well, and the Cowboys brought him into their system. He ended up flourishing. I love that he had his injury, came back and had his best statistical year yet. However, there were quarterbacks in front of him: Joe Burrow, Derek Carr, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, and obviously Tom Brady. However, if you're not going to give Matthew Stafford a superstar X Factor ability, I really don't understand why you would give Dak Prescott a superstar X Factor ability. Because Matthew Stafford was on the Lions his whole entire career, and the Lions are just utter garbage. Everyone knows that, even their fans. And so it makes you wonder, if Matthew Stafford was on a good team, the first time he was on a good team, he won the Super Bowl. What would his career be like, and why would you give it to Dak Prescott over some of these other guys? I just don't quite understand. I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. I still think Matthew Stafford is better. Micah Parsons is getting his early. He's going to get unstoppable force, and this guy deserves it. He got it so quick in his career, and you knew he's out of Penn State, and you could see him just dominate in college. He was a beast. So the Cowboys did really good on picking him up so fast, so big, and just so deadly. So it's awesome to see him do well and get the respect that I believe he deserves. I think it is early to give it to him, but if you're going to give it to him or give it to a guy early, he's one of those guys that you're like, yeah, it's kind of hard not to foresee that he's an absolute monster. The Dolphins have their first and only guy on the list, which is Tyreek Hill. This guy is like he's on skates out there, and he's on an ice ring. He's so freaking fast. It's insane. His should have been Cheetah or Devin Allen, let's race, something like that, because the guy is so fast he could turn off the lights and be in bed before it gets dark. George Kittle for the 49ers is up on the list. Not a shocker here. He's the second best tight end in the league at this moment in time. Everyone used to argue who was better, George Kittle or Travis Kelce, but George Kittle's play style is much different. He's very violent on the football field, while Travis Kelce is more of a possession guy. He avoids hits. George Kittle doesn't know how to avoid a hit to save his life, and he doesn't even want to. This guy is a walking car crash. He is so intense, so tough, such a good team player. And the other thing I have to say is he has Jimmy G throwing him the ball over Patrick Mahomes. There's a slight difference there. Fred Warner also made it onto the list for the 49ers with Zone Hawk. This guy's a beast. Not much other to say than just he's a freaking beast. He's a freak of nature. Then we have another guy from Ohio State who grew 16 inches when he went to Ohio State. That's just what happens when you go there. No big deal. He grew like maybe 180 pounds when he went there. Don't quote me. Anyways, he's got the biggest legs I've ever seen in my life. They're like walking cannonballs, like mini tree trunks. He's going to have relentless. It's the same as he had last year. And this guy's a beast. I hope he can stay healthy and start crushing it out of the park, because he is a monster. And of course, we have the great Aaron Rodgers, who used to have Gambler, and apparently now he's going to switch over to having the Superstar X Factor ability Dots, which we'll go into more into the future. If we had to change it, it'd probably be season goat, postseason flop would be it. Maybe contract thief, the only guy to complain that players are getting lowballed by the Green Bay Packers, and yet turns around and hits him with the largest contract he could hit him with. Maybe he could have got squeaked out a little bit more. And now they have no option but the lowball players. He gets paid more than Tom Brady and has won 50 Super Bowls less. And of course, Jari Alexander made it back onto the list. He's going to have the same as he had last year, which is shut down. The guy's a beast. He's a monster. Nothing else to say about that. So we got Christian McCaffrey back onto the list. Obviously, he has ankle breaker like he had last year. It should be do it all because he is the entire Panthers offense. Devontae Adams is now a Raider, and he's going to have the same double me as he had last year, What a phenomenal, phenomenal player. He went to Fresno State, which is the same as where Derek Carr went. He's going to go play with Derek Carr. And I'm really curious to see how this is going to work out for the Raiders. Chandler Jones is going to switch from Relentless. He is now a Raider, and he's going to go to Fearmonger, which is kind of weird because you would think that at the age of 31 that Madden should know what he is and not be switching it. It's just kind of strange. Jalen Ramsey made it to the 99 club, so congrats to you. He's going to have the same as he had last year, apparently, which is bottleneck. Jalen Ramsey, even though he got it completely wrong with Josh Allen, and I'd never hire him ever as a general manager because he doesn't see talent correctly, but to his defense, he can talk crap to basically anyone he wants because, well, he's that dang talented. So it's kind of hard to give him too much crap on that because, well, he is really, really nasty at cornerback. Aaron Donald's onto the list as well. Obviously, he has blitz, which is the same as last year. The only thing I would probably change is probably do manhandle because this guy will manhandle anyone who's in front of him. Doesn't matter the size. This guy's a monster. Bobby Wagner is now a Ram, which is pretty crazy. He went from momentum shift to now Avalanche, which we'll go into more into the future. Bobby Wagner may be getting old, but he's still a monster. Cooper Kupp was disrespected by Madden and was given the superstar death. Now he's going to get the respect he deserves and have rack him up superstar X Factor ability. He's insane. Lamar Jackson's getting the same respect he got last year and getting truz. And honestly, if I had to pick Dak Prescott or Lamar Jackson to have an X Factor, I'd choose Dak Prescott easily. Lamar Jackson's could be accuracy 0.2. That would probably be what it would be. Obviously, he's very talented, very good football player. But to try to say he's an elite quarterback, I'm just not there with you, and I just don't see eye to eye with it. The Ravens right now could trade him away for gold and get every pick you could imagine, and if they end up signing him for the massive contract that they're probably going to sign him for, they're probably going to be broke, have less players than they do now, and still not win the Super Bowl. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, is now a Saint. He's going to go from shutdown to reinforcement. Alvin Kamara on the Saints will not switch. He'll have satellite. Honestly, it should be the cloud because that's how he runs, like he's on clouds. It's one of the craziest looking runs I've ever seen. His run style is just like he is floating. Cameron Jordan is still on the list, even though he's almost a grandpa at this moment in time. Just kidding, Cameron Jordan, I love you. Your play is amazing, and it doesn't shock us at all. He's not going to change it all. Keep unstoppable force. DK Metcalf is going to go from a superstar to double me superstar X Factor ability, and it's not a shock there. His could be, oh crap, that could be his because that's what people say when they see him coming their way. And it also could be, I'm your daddy. That's another one that he could have because, well, he basically owns so many different dudes that he goes against, and it's not a shock as to why. TJ Watt is going to go from selfless to unstoppable force, and honestly, it should just be, I'm better than Big Bro. Cameron Hayward, who is just so big and massive, he is actually going to go from a superstar development to Fearmonger, another Ohio State guy here. And, you know, there's not much other than to say. This guy's just lasted the sands of time. He's like a D-tackle who can play end. He's very, very terrifying. Very solid player, and you deserve this, man. Congratulations. So on to the Texans. They got nobody moving on. The Tennessee Titans have Derrick Henry, who has Freight Train. He'll rock the same one this next year as well, and I don't understand why it should be Stiff Arm King. He's not an actual power back. Because he is huge, people think that he's a power back. Watch his run style. He's not a power back. He stiff arms people. He's not running like Dalvin Cook. He's not running like Devontae Foreman. There are guys who are power backs, like Brandon Jacobs on the New York Giants back in the day. You got LeGarrette Blount. Those are power backs. Derrick Henry is huge, but he is not a power back. He's an elusive hybrid who can stiff arm you into oblivion. Now, Dalvin Cook is going to have first one free, and honestly, this guy needs to have Freight Train or something of that nature because he runs like he is a Mack truck, like a diesel with no trailer on the back. This guy is hitting the hole hard as hell, and he is going to knock you into oblivion. He cares not about his body, rather than he does pummeling you into the ground. Another Viking on the list is Hunter. Absolute beast, unstoppable force. He'll have the same one as he had last year, and he deserves it. Apparently, Justin Jefferson is going to go to double me instead of having this weak superstar ability for him. This guy's a freak. It should be Swaggy instead. Justin Jefferson's a very exciting player to watch play. Well, it's obvious because of his dance moves. No, it's also because of his play, and the guy's a beast. Congrats to you, Justin Jefferson. And if any more players get added, we'll let you know.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create